Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed the crime. As you stand before me this morning, of course, I presume that you're innocent. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state can prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, a bond has been set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. And if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Very good. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Mary Stanley. Morning, Mary. What's your date of birth? Mary, what's your date of birth? Okay. There's 3 issues this morning. I got a petty grand theft. Retail grand theft, possession of paraphernalia, and a VOP, probable cause arrest for a VOP. There's probable cause for all 3 of those charges. As to those charges, Mary, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender? All right, I'll appoint the public defender. Bond on the VOP will be no bond. That case will be coming back on the 19th of September. They may have told you the 25th. The right date is the 19th. On the 2 new charges, I'll leave the bonds per the schedule, which are $2,000 and $1,000 respectively. Those charges are also going to come back then on the 19th, and the public defender will come see you at the jail. I suggest that when the public defender gets there that you become somewhat more loquacious with them than you are being with me this morning. Thank you.
I thought the speaker was broken.
Christine Atkins. Morning, Miss Atkins. What's your date of birth?
2859.
All right, Miss Atkins, you got a aggravated battery on a person 65 or older, being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I guess the public defender.
Good guess. I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, she's got a history going back over 20 years, but most of the problems with this, multiple battery on the elderly, and multiple violations of pretrial release by having contact with battery victims. It is the state's position.
And on the charges, Your Honor, on both my parents were all dropped.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the state's position that she's definitely a danger to these people.
Right.
So, understanding that the state, that the court must set a monetary bond, we ask that it be high, maybe even in the 5-6 figures, because she is definitely a danger to these people. She actually tried to attack them in the presence of the deputy. The victim is in a wheelchair, cannot defend himself. This is one of the most serious kind of cases that we could have. Thanks.
Go ahead.
We just very quickly, certainly you need to have contact with that. And
I've been taking care of my stepfather and my mother
Excuse
for I
me,
don't know
ma'am.
how many years, Your Honor. He got run over by a car, that's why he's in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's also, besides
She's
that.
also on probation.
Wow, here we
She's
go.
on a DUI, placed on August the 3rd, I believe it was,
Oh, okay.
somewhere around that time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir, I'm very hard of hearing.
That's all right. Here's Christine. Looks like you're also on misdemeanor probation right now. Does that sound familiar?
No, because I paid everything off, and the only thing I'm doing is my classes to get my driver's license.
Yeah, you're still on probation. So, in any event, here's what we're going to do. As to this charge, I'm going to set the bond at $25,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with your stepfather, who was Larry Lee Cummins. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. Don't have a third person contact him. Don't go relives, don't go reworks, don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that
No,
you might
it's
imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact, so if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in proceeding on this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they're not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I'm going to hold you at the jail today up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, I'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. If you are able to bond out, you can't stay at Fentress Court in Spring Hill anymore. You'd have to stay someplace else until we get this case resolved. But you could go by, of course, one time to grab your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need, wherever you plan to stay. To do that, however, you'd have to contact the sheriff's office first. I'm going to have you back in court on this on the 25th of September. I will let you know, Christine, that there will be a warrant next week for your arrest for a violation of probation. So you might want to think twice about spending any money to bond out, because it's quite certain that sometime early next week you're going to get arrested again on the VOP, and if you spent money getting out, you'll lose that money, all right?
I understand, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Blanche Belufa Garcia. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
9580.
All right, Blanche, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. The judge that signed it found probable cause for one count of fail to return or redeliver a hired vehicle and set your bond at $1,000. I can't change that. If you can post that bond, you can get out of jail here, go down to Pasco, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post the bond, we'll let Pasco know. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. It doesn't take 5 days with Pasco. But if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
That's no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca Brush.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Rebecca. Date of birth?
11884.
All right, Rebecca, this is a warrant out of Hillsborough County. The judge that signed it found probable cause for a violation of probation and set your bond at no bond. We'll let them know you're ready to go. Give them 5 days to come get you, all right?
All right, thank you,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Deborah Meinhardt.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, miss. What's your date of birth?
61066.
All right, ma'am, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for 10 counts of animal cruelty. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
I guess public defender.
I'll point the PD, state what you tell me.
For Miss Minor, she has a couple of arrests about 20 years ago for battery and cruelty to children, but I think they were all dropped,
Okay.
and I don't see anything else.
All right. And ma'am, I've got an address for you on Oney Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Off and on my whole life.
All right. Do you have a
I
job?
now own the property.
Do you have a
Yes,
job
I
these
now
days?
own the property. Yes, sir, I have a job.
What do you do?
I'm a bookkeeper.
Okay. And did Animal Services leave any animals behind, or are they all gone now?
A few cats.
Okay. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do as to count 1, I will set your bond at $1,000. As to counts 2 through 10 at ROR, so your total is $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you will not collect to yourself any additional animals of any kind beyond what you have, whatever Animal Services left behind when they took these animals. So not so much as another hamster, okay? Nothing additional. You know that because when they seize those animals, they're going to be around. I think you've probably got an animal fitness hearing coming up next week. That'll be in front of me as well, and we'll talk about that some more. But no additional animals. Are we clear about that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Have you back in court on the criminal charges on the 20th of September. If you get out, make sure you go see the public defender, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Albert Buzario. Morning again, Albert. What's your date of birth?
6/28/64.
All right, Albert, I get 2 new charges. One is a felony retail theft and one is a misdemeanor retail theft. There's probable cause for those charges. We'll go ahead and appoint the public defender like we did yesterday. On the misdemeanor, I'll leave the bond at the $1,000, and that one we'll send to the 20th of September. That's where all your other misdemeanor cases are. So those will all be together. The felony retail theft, unfortunately, we have to extend to a different court. I can't keep that with your other cases. So on the felony, I will set the bond per the arrest affidavit, which was $3,000, appoint the public defender, and that one will come back on the 25th of September. Like I said yesterday, I think we'll have your misdemeanors taken care of on the 20th. When you get to felony court, those will all be wrapped up, okay?
What was the felony?
Yes, sir.
All right, 925. Thanks, Albert. Peter Gonzalez. Morning, Peter. What's your date of birth?
1/28/81.
All right. This morning I got 3 charges: driving under the influence, driving on a suspended license, and refusal to submit to a test. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, I'm going to represent yourself. I'm going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the public defender, and looks like you got already got a pending charge coming back on the 20th from last
Yes.
week. What's the charge?
I believe it was battery. Hold on. Let's double check that. Yeah,
Okay.
battery domestic.
Okay.
So it's a second within 5 on this charge.
On the DUI.
On this DUI, yeah, he got one in 2013 in Georgia. He's got failure to appear, drugs, driving suspended, and the open battery.
Okay.
We asked that he be remanded on, or recommitted on the open battery.
And Peter, I have an address for you on Elwood Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. On these charges, I'll set a bond of $1,000 on each count. That's a total of $3,000. These are coming back September 20th. And then with your open case, which was 17 MM3138, job number 1 when you're out on bond with open criminal cases is don't pick up new criminal cases. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 17 MM3138. So we're going to hold you at jail without bond at least until the 20th of September, when you'll be back in front of me on all of your charges. The public defender will come see you at the jail before your court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Brent Courtney. Oops, sorry. Morning again, Brent. Date of birth?
11/27/1991.
Brent, this is a misdemeanor battery. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you have private counsel, Brent?
No, sir.
Do you have public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I think everything else that you have open right now is a felony, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. On this one, I'll leave the bond at the $1,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Nicole Hans. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier, Brent?
Yes, sir.
Can you understand that?
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Sure.
When was the date of this offense?
This is back in December. Yeah, that's a ways ago.
11. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. It seemed odd to me too, Brent, but apparently they were able to get what they needed. So we'll have you back in court on this one on the 20th of September. PD will come see about this case as well, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Zachary Gerhards. What is Zachary? What's your date of birth?
12/20/94.
Zachary, you're here on a warrant that Judge Rupi signed. She found probable cause for a battery being domestic in nature. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
What? I think he has a warrant. Oh, wait.
This is
Wait.
the warrant.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person.
Okay.
I had a warrant, but I turned myself in yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
17 mm 26. Oh, that's this case.
That's this.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Let's see. History. Criminal mischief from earlier in the year. Some out-of-state stuff from... Smuggling. Interesting.
Ma'am or sir, Your Honor, I don't know about any other out-of-state charges. I don't know if it's pertaining or not.
That's okay. Hang on.
Yes, sir.
Has a different name.
Okay. Nothing we
Alright, some 5'5" guy, so I don't think it's this guy.
Not this guy. Okay.
Oh wait, here's something. This is Florida. 17. No, it's just this case. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Jack, I have an address for you on Rock Bay Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
10 to 12 years.
Okay. So your dad lives there too?
Yes, sir.
Have you been there since the 21st of July?
Yes, sir. I had him bring me here yesterday.
Okay. All right.
Is that the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zach, I'll set your bond at $500. Condition now is that you're going to have no contact with your dad. Did you hear me explain no contact a few minutes ago?
Yes, sir. How would I'm allowed to have contact with Laura Gerhards?
Say that again?
Am I allowed to have contact with Laura Gerhards? Just not Bill?
Just your dad. You can have contact with anybody else.
Thank you.
Okay? That also means that as long as he is staying on Rock Bay Road now while this charge is pending, you'll have to stay someplace else. You can go by one time when you get out to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you're going to go. But you need to contact the sheriff's office before you do that, so they'll come by and stand by while you get your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on September 20th. Make sure that you go see the PD when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Owen Tillith. Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
11/14/96.
I've got two charges, possession of drug paraphernalia and driving under the influence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
from possession of a weapon, some drugs, firearm, or paraphernalia. Going back to about 5 years.
Okay. I've got an address for you on Duffield Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
I'm alive.
Okay. You got a job these days?
No.
Going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $500 on the paraphernalia, $1,000 on the DUI. Total is $1,500. I'll have you back in court on September 20th. Make sure you go see the public defender when you get out, okay? Floyd Metz. Morning, Floyd. What's your date of birth?
5/20/63.
Floyd, this morning I've got possession of methamphetamine and felony driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defenders.
I'll point the PD state last couple of years.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. got driving on suspended, paraphernalia, resisting without, marijuana paraphernalia, driving on suspended, probation violations, and most recently a burglary. I think he went to prison.
And Floyd, I have an address for you on East Avenue in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
About 4 months.
You got a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Stuck over my brother.
What did you say?
It's construction work.
Stucco. Thank you.
Stucco. All right, Floyd, I'm going to leave the bonds at the schedule, which is $2,000 on each for a total of $4,000. Have you back 25th of September. If you can get out, go see the PD right away. Otherwise, they'll come see you at the jail. All right?
All right.
Thank you. Jordan Patisher.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Jordan. What's your date of birth?
9/27/96.
Okay. This now is possession of marijuana. There's probable cause for the charge. Hang on a second.
He's got a bunch of open felony cases.
Yeah, the felonies are what he was arrested on when they collected this marijuana.
Okay.
What I'm interested in is there is another misdemeanor that does predate this. So, Christy, is this your notes say that he had bonded out on that misdemeanor, or was it a notice to appear?
That's the 3013.
Right.
That's one from June.
July.
I don't think he ever bonded. I don't see where he bonded out.
Is it a notice to appear?
I see on his rap sheet from June 14th, there was a notice to, he failed to appear on a notice to appear.
Oh, that could be it.
It's on his rap sheet from
But
6/14.
he definitely was out on the 15th of August, because that's when he got picked up on the felony warrants, and they collected this marijuana. So if the offense date is the 19th of July, he must have been out.
Then there's another arrest the 16th for GTA, and an arrest the 18th for fraud. Arrest the 20th for
Yeah.
larceny. When did he?
Okay. Jordan, how long you been in jail right now?
Since the 15th.
Okay. And, I'm sorry, did you ask for the public defender?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. On this case, I will set the bond at $500, but then I'm going to go ahead and revoke your bond on your other misdemeanor, which is 17 MM 3013. So at least on the misdemeanor cases, that one was set for arraignment on the 13th of September, so I'll move this one to the 13th of September as well. So both your misdemeanors will come back on the same day, and if you're able to resolve them, you can resolve them together in front of Judge Rupi, and the public defender will come see you before your court date, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mark Fenningworth.
Good morning, Your
Mark,
Honor.
what's your date of birth?
12/9/87.
Mark, you're hearing a warrant that Judge Toner signed. Apparently you failed to appear in his court in December on 3 charges, 2 counts of possession of controlled substance, 1 count of driving on a suspended license. Did you have a lawyer on those cases, Mark?
Your Honor, I had a PD. See, the thing is I was already in prison when
Yeah.
when I had to be to court. I already signed a prison sentence. I
Right,
just
Mark,
got
and
out of
that's
prison yesterday.
and that's frankly that's commonly the case. But this is that kind of a warrant is the only way we get you back. So you're serving a prison sentence right now.
No, I completed the prison sentence yesterday. I successfully EOS, sir.
Okay, so we'll.
And before I left, when I signed the prison sentence, this was all supposed to be ran concurrent
Right.
with Citrus County.
I'm with you, Mark. I'm with you. We'll get it wrapped up as quick as we can. Do you want the public defender?
Yes, I would like them to see me as soon as possible, sir.
And all right. I can't change the bonds, so those will stay at $2,000 on each count for a total of $6,000. I'll get you back in front of Judge Toner on the 25th of September, and I'm quite certain that your case will be wrapped up by then. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Andrew Rankin.
Morning.
Morning, Andrew. What's your date of birth?
1982.
Andrew, I've got 2 charges. I've got a battery on a pregnant female and a misdemeanor battery. There's probable cause for the 2 charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel?
Yeah. The first charge.
I don't want to talk about the charges. I want you to tell me who you're going to, if you're going to hire a lawyer, represent yourself, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Very good. State, what can you tell me about this gentleman?
He's got history going back not that long, a couple years, in Florida anyway. DUI, paraphernalia, driving unsuspended. He had a couple of violent cases with batteries and child abuse dropped. Driving suspended, violations of probation. There's some stuff from out of state, including disorderly conduct, falsify paperwork from like driving stuff, I guess, drugs, breaking and entering. Yes, Massachusetts.
Okay. And Mr. Rankin, I have an address for you on Wayside Willow Court in Hudson. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
3 years.
And you have a job these days?
Just lost it last night, today.
Okay. On the felony count, I'll set the bond at $2,500. On the misdemeanor count at $1,000. Your total is $3,500. Condition of those bonds is that you'll have no contact with Sarah Tarico or Adrian Dulce. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Correct.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have you back in court on the 25th of September. If you get out, you should go see the public defender right away.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dennis Rogers.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Dennis. Date of birth?
5567.
Dennis, you're hearing a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for 10 counts of animal cruelty. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD, State.
History's, well, since before 2000, is DUIs and thefts and driving charges, but
Okay.
it doesn't seem he has anything within the last 15 years or so.
Okay. And Dennis, I have an address for you on Narrow Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
It's my cousin's house. I live in his driveway for the past 4 years.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir. I'm fighting disability.
Okay. All right, we'll do the same thing as to count 1. I'll set you at $1,000. Count 2 through 10 at ROR. Condition is that you'll not keep any additional animals. And we'll have you back in court on the 20th of September, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Anthony Struther. Morning, Anthony. What's your date of birth?
11/7/95.
Anthony, you're here on a warrant that I signed. You failed to appear in my court on a notice to appear for violation of probation on possession of marijuana. Ms. Newby, what's the recommendation from probation?
60 days.
All right. Anthony, the recommendation from probation is that we terminate your probation and have you do 60 days in the county jail. You could take that this morning if you want. You don't have to. I can appoint you a lawyer so you can see if there's something better than 60 days out there for you, but that's up to you. You want to take the 60, or would you like me to get you a lawyer?
We can do the public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. Bond on the warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'll have you back to see me on the 20th of September. PD will come see you before then, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, folks.